Hey guys, I'm Sagar and this is my full review of the Moto X Play. The Moto X Play sits between the Moto G3 and the Moto X Style in Motorola's smartphone lineup. In India, the 16GB model is now available at 16,499 rupees and a 32GB model comes in at 17,999 rupees. So what makes the Moto X Play cost 5,000 rupees more than the Moto G3? Let's find out. Right as you look at the Moto X Play, you know that it's made by Motorola. With the Moto dimple below the camera module, a slight curve to the back, front-facing speaker and the rubberized textured back, it follows a similar design language as most of the Motorola's other smartphones launched this year. On its face, this phone has a 5.5-inch IPS FullHD screen with a pixel density of 403 pixels per inch. This screen is beautiful to look at and offers great color reproduction. Even with this huge screen, Motorola has done a good job of keeping the phone compact enough so that I can easily use it with one hand. Below the screen is a single speaker. Although it looks like the phone has two speakers at the front, the top grille is just an earpiece. It's not the best sounding speaker on a smartphone, but it's forward facing, which gives it an edge over any of the rear or bottom firing speakers. Above the screen, there is a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. This phone lacks the LED notification light, but it tries to make up for that with the Moto's active display feature. At the back of the phone, we have a 21-megapixel camera with a color-correcting dual LED flash, below which lies the signature Motorola dimple. The phone also has a nice rubberized back with a little texture to it. It is supposed to help you grip the phone better. It's not as grippy as the texture on the Moto G3 or the Moto X Style, but it still gets the job done. This phone is also water repellent, so it will definitely survive light splashes of water. But according to Motorola, it is not waterproof like the Moto G3, so you should avoid completely immersing it in water. The back panel is removable, but since the SIM cards and the micro SD card go inside the tray at the top of the phone, the only reason for you to remove the back is to swap it out with a different colored one. Well, it looks like the phone is having a metal band around it, but it is actually just plastic colored to look like metal. Overall, it is a very well-built smartphone. The only thing which I don't like is that the power button and the volume buttons are made of plastic. They rattle a lot and feel a bit loose to the touch. Under the hood, we have an octa-core Snapdragon 615 processor clocked at 1.7 GHz, paired with the Adreno 405 GPU and 2GB of RAM powering this device. I would have preferred a better processor on this phone, but given the mid-budget price range of this phone, this is the best that Motorola had to offer. You can choose between 16 or 32GB of internal memory while purchasing this smartphone. In either case, you also get a micro SD card expansion slot, via which you can pack this phone with an additional 128GB of storage. Apart from all this, we also have the usual stuff like GPS, Bluetooth 4.0, 802.11 and Wi-Fi, 4G LTE and NFC. With all these internals, this phone manages a decent score in benchmark tests. Taking a look at the real-life performance, all my everyday tasks such as browsing, watching videos, listening to music, checking on social media and replying to emails are running without a hitch on this smartphone. Although the Snapdragon 615 processor is famous for its overheating problem, the Moto X Play does not overheat at all in normal day-to-day usage. But if you play a lot of games, then it does get a bit warm, which is to be expected of any smartphone. Right out of the box, the Moto X Play is running almost stock Android 5.1.1, and Motorola has already started rolling out Marshmallow update to these smartphones, so you can have the latest version of Android running on your device. Motorola has barely added any bulky bloatware on this smartphone. What they have added are just a bunch of features which actually enhance the experience while using it, like the Connect app that lets you manage all the Moto devices that are connected to your smartphone, and the Moto app that lets you manage and control the active display, Moto actions and the Moto voice commands. I love the pure Android experience as it keeps the phone clean and snappy. It also allows the users to get an early access to the latest Android updates. Overall, the phone feels very fast, but sometimes while switching between apps from the multitasking menu, it takes a few extra seconds. This does not happen every time, and it might be due to the number of applications I have running in the background, but I just wanted to let you guys know about it. This phone has no problem while handling games. Real Racing 3 and Asphalt 8 had no problems running smoothly. However, in Nova 3, I saw a few dropped frames, but it was still playable. So if you are a casual gamer, then you will be very happy with this device. The Moto X Play comes with a 21 megapixel rear facing and 5 megapixel front facing camera. Motorola claims this to be the best camera they have ever made, and that is true. This camera is a big improvement over all the previous Moto X devices. Pictures and videos in ample light turn out to be really great. The camera interface is, however, far too basic for my needs. It's just too hard to use a smartphone camera on which you cannot tap to focus. I have made a detailed video about the camera quality of this phone. You guys should definitely check it out. I'll leave a link to that video in the description section and also an annotation to it on the screen. By this time, you might have noticed that the Moto X Play is a bit thicker than most phones out there. This is due to the mammoth battery it is packing inside its back. It has a 3630 mAh non-removable battery and it lasts pretty long. Any user will easily get at least a day and a half worth of use out of it before having to charge it again. This phone also supports Motorola's turbocharging functionality, which gives you over 6 hours of usage in just 15 minutes of charge. This sounds amazing until you realize that Motorola did not include this turbocharger in the box. So, if you need that fast charging feature, then you will have to buy the turbocharger separately, which is really disappointing. The supplied charger takes well over 3 hours to charge this 3630 mAh battery. This is just too long. And to top it off, it also does not support wireless charging. So in conclusion, the Moto X Play performs very well on its own. It borrows a lot of its features from the Moto G3 and also contains some of the features found in the higher end Moto X Style. The cellular call quality of this phone is excellent. The battery life is amazing. The 5.5-inch Full HD display is a treat to look at. The 21 megapixel camera is a huge improvement over any of the previous generation Motorola smartphones. And despite of the huge screen, the phone fits very well in a single hand. The only two things which I don't like about this phone, the power button and the volume buttons rattle and feel very loose to the touch, and the fact that the turbocharger is not included in the box. Other than these two things, the Moto X Play is a great overall smartphone at its price. That is it for this video guys. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and also subscribe to my channel for more cool videos like this. You can also check out some of the other videos on my channel. This is Sagar and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.